So we're going to be rebuilding the Houston Texans in a realistic fashion in Madden 24. And I just got to say that CJ Stroud has been absolutely balling with the Texans. In my personal opinion, I think CJ Stroud is the front runner for Rookie of the Year, then Puka Nacua, and then Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson has been doing great. He missed a game, but CJ Stroud has been very consistent. I don't think he's even thrown an interception yet. He has been balling for this Texans teams. While on the other hand, Bryce Young has been kind of struggling with the Panthers, reportedly because of his height, which a lot of people had a problem with, but I think he will figure it out, become a solid player. But CJ Stroud, in general, has been balling, and look at this receiving core. It's not even that good. Nico Collins has been doing great these past couple of weeks. Tank Dell, I'm going to make the starter here just because of his star development, and I want Nico Collins to be the wide receiver too in this situation, but Tank Dell has been balling as well. Dameon Pierce hasn't been really doing that hot this year just because they're giving all the attempts to CJ Stroud instead of Dameon Pierce, and they also got Devin Singletary. The O-line isn't crazy. Where's Scruggs, actually, the center? Juice. Yeah, there he is. Juice Scruggs is what I was looking for. Move Tank Dell back up here, and where is Nico Collins? He's all the way over here. I want to move Nico Collins to the 2. Scruggs is really only a 67. That's kind of crazy. Kenyon Green, I'm just going to make the starter because of his development. He really wasn't doing that good, and he was a first-round pick. Of course, they have Dalton Schultz. I almost forgot to mention him. He's been doing great as well. Defensive line, Will Anderson Jr. has been tearing things up. Derek Stingley, I'm going to move to the DB1. Jimmy Ward, Jalen Petrie, Denzel Perryman's doing pretty well. He's kind of underrated for all the tackles he gets, but he's nothing crazy in coverage. He's a very good run defender, but I can definitely rebuild this team, I think. But if you guys do enjoy this rebuild, make sure you like and or subscribe. Make sure you're an OG before we hit 10,000 subscribers on the channel. We are going to be getting very close to that very soon, so make sure you're an OG and like and or subscribe. Let's try to get 50 likes on this video. I would appreciate that. But anyways, let's move in to the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 2-4, second in the division. The division is pretty weak. Our defense is doing good. Our offense is doing straight trash. I guess I do need a really good receiver in terms of overall. So I am going to be scouting national focus to the receiver here. Wide receiver, DB, and strong safety is the strength of the class. But of course, I'm going to be targeting offense here because our offense just looks terrible on the stat sheet apparently. Players ready to negotiate. I'm going to take Dalton Schultz here. I'll do a 4-year deal. I'll keep him around for the rest of the rebuild. He has a high interest in playing. Devin Singletary, I don't really need. I don't need Shaquille Griffin either, or Noah Brown. Steven Nelson, not really. I need some DBs as well, along with some more receivers. But for right now, all those guys don't really interest me other than Dalton Schultz. Already got the scouting national focus. We're going to keep auto-generated rookies and move in to the playoffs. And we're finishing 6-11. Our team just sucks. I don't think the Texans will be this bad in real life. Honestly, the AFC South seems up for grab. The Titans don't even seem to be doing bad, beating the Bengals 27-3 today as I'm recording this. I'm recording this on Sunday night of October 1st. And Jaguars, man, 8-9, missing the playoffs. Why does our team just completely suck? I mean, it really isn't even that horrible of a roster. I guess it's because of rookie QB. CJ Stroud, really bad rookie year in Madden. 18th best offense, 23rd best defense. Yeah, 17 touchdowns to 15 interceptions is a horrible year. 86 passer rating, not good. But Dameon Pierce, 11 touchdowns, 4.3 per carry, 1,100 yards is a good season. Tank Dell, 1,000 yards, 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns isn't good, but 1,000 yards for a rookie is nice. Looking at it defensively, Corey Littleton, 131 tackles for a loss, 24 for Jonathan Grenard, sacks, 7.5 for Will Anderson Jr., along with 17 tackles for a loss. That's probably defensive rookie of the year. Interceptions, 3 for Shaquille Griffin. Safeties on the team is 2, not 0. Sheldon Rankins with 2. Defensive touchdowns is 1 for Jalen Petrie. The team sucks, which I really didn't expect because I thought CJ Stroud would do a lot better, but let's move in to the offseason. And the Ravens once again beat the Niners in the Super Bowl. Actually, 10 years later exactly. They played in 2013, the Super Bowl. Yeah, 2013 Super Bowl. Now 2023 Super Bowl. The Ravens beat them. I think they beat them by 3 points the last time too. Lamar Jackson wins the Super Bowl MVP. Dak Prescott wins the league MVP, my favorite, and the Offensive Player of the Year. And Micah Parsons, oh my gosh, look at the MVP, Coach of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, and Defensive Player of the Year. It's crazy, but Will Anderson Jr. does win the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Let's see what we got for the retired players, though, in the AFC South, I believe. Case Keenum retires, don't care, and I don't really care about the rest of the division either. We will improve this offseason, but let's see what we got for the team upgrade. CJ Stroud is probably just a star dev. He is. Tank Dell is also just a star dev. No offensive upgrades, unfortunately. Defensively, Will Anderson Jr. does get 3 XP points and Superstar Dev, so he's going to be an 85 overall without the boost, too. That's great. Shaquille Griffin does get Star Dev. I'm still not going to re-sign him, though. Grenard gets Star Dev, and Sheldon Rankin gets Star Dev. Sheldon Rankins is kind of old, though. Jonathan Grenard, though, is 27, so he's going to start regression soon. He'll be a good rotational player at best, but not really too excited for his future. So let's move into the re-signings. For the re-signings, I don't really need Devin Singletary. Shaquille Griffin I didn't really want, but if he accepts this 1-year deal, I will take him back. And he does re-sign because he led the team in interceptions. A lot of people had 3 interceptions, but he wasn't bad. Jonathan Grenard would not be a bad rotational player for now, so I'm just going to sign him for 2 years just for now. And everyone else here, Sheldon Rankins, he doesn't even have an interest in playing. If he had an interest, I would sign him for 1 more year. But there's a lot of holes on this team, especially on the defensive side of the ball, so let's move into free agency. So there wasn't really a lot of good players in free agency that wanted to play for our team. So I skipped out on free agency, and I'm selecting this wide receiver in the first round, Matthias Alfarar. I'm stupid, Alfaro. But we are at pick 24 actually, because we trade away one of our first round picks, the Cardinals, to trade up for Will Anderson in the drafts. But he is 6'3", 234. Unfortunately, only normal dev. He was very athletic, very good skills, especially in terms of catching. I still think he'll develop into a good receiver. After free agency and the draft, to be honest, we really didn't have that crazy of a draft or an offseason, to be real. But this guy, Alfaro, I'm really stupid. I'm just going to, Matthias. Matthias is his first name. I'm going to call him Matthias. Matthias is going to be the receiver 1, and then Tank Dell is going to be the receiver 2 here. But hopefully Matthias does get star dev for being rookie of the year or something like that. The team is just really young, which is a good thing, but it's bad because they're a low overall. Got this guy in the later rounds. He just doesn't have a dev, which really sucks, but he's not bad either. And got this guy in the second round. He just had normal dev. So hopefully we can have a better offseason this year and start winning more games so people want to actually sign our team. But hopefully Matthias does get star dev and get rookie of the year. But apart from that, let's move into the second year in the midseason mark. Here we are, 2-5, bottom of the division. If you guys have any specific playbooks, like, let me know. I'm running Buffalo offense, Kansas City defense, base 4-3 cover, and multiple zone run offense. It is ridiculous. I'm not trying to test out playbooks. I want to know which ones are good because playbooks are evidently more useful than good players, which is really stupid. It's really dumb. I understand it's important to have a good head coach, but it's really dumb how I'll have like a 97 overall team and I'll still constantly lose. But Shaquille Griffin, I'm going, do I want him again? Probably not. Nico Collins, he's good in real life, but in Madden, this is a different story. So I don't know. He hasn't really been putting the numbers up here, especially with CJ Stroud. Derek Stingley, I want to accept his option just because he doesn't want to play for the team right now. But apart from that, not really interested in signing anyone. Scouting national focus was DB. Let's miss another playoff run here and get to it. And here we are finishing 8-9. Improvement. We're not bottom of the division. Kind of wish we were so we had a better draft pick. But still, that's an improvement. That's a big improvement from last season from 6-11 to 8-9. Similar, slightly improved from last season. 22nd best offense, 20th best defense. We still suck. This still is not a good stat line, but it's definitely an improvement from 17 to 15 to 22 and 13. 89 pass rating is a small improvement from 86. My bad. Damian Pierce, 13 touchdowns, 4.3 per carry, 1,100 yards. Similar to last season, except he had 2 more touchdowns. Tank Dell, 1,000 yards, only 1 touchdown. But Matthias with 9 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. It's probably rookie of the year with more receptions. Why isn't he above Tank Dell? He had more receptions, same yards, and more touchdowns. I guess the average is less, but who cares? Anyways, my bad. I'm just dying right here. Henry Toa. I'm pretty sure that's how you say that. 122 tackles, tackles for a loss, 14 for Will Anderson, sacks 7.5 for Will Anderson, interception 6 for Derek Stingley. He's probably going to get superstar. No need to look at the safeties or the defensive touchdowns, but Stingley's probably going to have superstar. Let's move into the offseason. And the Giants blow out the Bengals in the Super Bowl. Saquon Barkley wins the Super Bowl MVP. Joe Burrow wins the league MVP. No awards here for the Texans. Really wanted Matthias to get the Rookie of the Year. Maybe he still does get started after a 1,000-yard season. I will give it to him if he doesn't get it. DeAndre Hopkins and Danny Shelton both retire on the Titans. But Matthias, 9 touchdowns, 1,000 yards as a rookie, almost double-digit touchdowns as a rookie is a very good season. He should have star dev here. He does have star dev. Don't even have to give it to him. Team's improving. Team's improving in overall. Again, we're a young team. Still need that stud for offense. Derek Stingley does get superstar dev after the 6 interception season. Acosta, the guy that I drafted in like the 4th round, gets star dev. Store, I don't even know who this is, but it looks like he got star dev. Jimmy Ward is regressing, but we still need to find that stud. We're an 81 overall team, very young. That's the upside here, but let's move into the re-signings. For the re-signings, Stingley doesn't want to play, but of course I want him, so I'm just going to accept his option for now. Kenyon Green blows. So I'll just give him a contract next year and it'll be pretty cheap. So I'll just wait on that. Even if he doesn't want to be here, I still want him because he's young and has star dev. Don't really need Shaquille Griffin anymore. Jimmy Ward, don't really need him either. He's 34 and he doesn't even want to play here. So we're going to let them walk. We have $125 million. Hopefully we can find someone that wants to play for us in free agency. After free agency, there wasn't a lot of good offensive players in free agency, but a huge upgrade at defense, getting Aaron Donald on the team, Javon Holland, Greg Newsome, Chardavius Ward, and Jerome Baker, all defensive players. Still a huge upgrade to our overall, which is key for simulation. We're an 85 overall team now. I'm probably going to trade for a stud because we still need a really good wide receiver 1 for CJ Stroud. So let's move into the draft. So I don't know how we got the number 1 pick, but I'm going to trade it away. I don't know who we traded with to have this, but we have 2 first-round picks. We have pick number 11 and pick number 1. I don't really see an interest in picking anyone at the number 1 selection here, unless, of course, we were to pick a quarterback, which we're not going to do here. Really, the edge rushers don't look crazy. Like, this guy looks good. Trey Locke, elite acceleration. He looks good, but is he number 1 pick good? I would not say he's number 1 pick good. There's nothing on his athletic sheet that makes me think he's crazy, and I think I could get someone similar to him later in the rounds. I like the Colts offer the best. We trade back to pick number 9. We get a first round next year, and we get a 2nd round this year and a 5th round next year and a 6th round next year. So I'm going to take this from the Colts. They can move up to number 1. Will they take a quarterback? They have Anthony Richardson. Is he not developing? No, they're going to take a defensive end. Buccaneers are going to take a QB. I'm just going to simulate to our pick at number 9, and we have pick number 11. Now making the big move I said before, getting superstar wide receiver T. Higgins, who the Bengals have been discussing about trading in real life, so it kind of makes sense here, trading away pick number 9, my 3rd round pick, and one of my 4th round picks. I have 2 4th round picks, and getting the stud superstar wide receiver T. Higgins, who is going to be our new wide receiver 1 for CJ Stroud. And with my other first round pick at pick 11, I'm picking up Maurice Rush. Last name Rush for a power rusher archetype? That's kind of crazy. Hidden dev. He's going to play over Jonathan Grenard, 6'2", 253, out of Oklahoma. Great athleticism. Hidden dev, of course. A awareness, A play rec, A pursuit, B impact blocking. He looks like he's going to be a great edge rusher for us. And with my 2nd round pick, I'm picking up a hidden development center, which we need out of Ole Miss. 6'4", almost 300 pounds, 1 pound shy, really. 85 strength, 77 acceleration, A pass block finesse. Very good pass blocker for CJ Stroud in this scheme. Now, this team has drastically improved in just one offseason, getting T. Higgins on the offense, a new starting center with hidden dev, has great potential. We have good depth overall at receiver here. Looks like we have a star development guy over here who I'm going to just move to the 5th string, which won't really give him any reps, but sure, I guess he'll play a little bit higher on the depth chart, which may give him a little bit more XP, which it won't really matter in general. But for Rush, I'm going to move him over Grenard to the left end. Will Anderson is playing right end. This is a stacked out defensive line now, bringing back the J.J. Watt era. Not really. J.J. Watt was really a different breed for the Texans, but hopefully this guy can develop into something special on this left end. We're going to move Rush up here, move him there, and if he can't play in rotation there, sure, he's a 74 defensive tackle, 76 defensive end here. He's a power rusher archetype. Very, very good. Stingley, do I want him at DB2? I mean, is he the slot here? Yeah, he is going to be in the slot. I'm going to move this guy into the slot as well. Rush is going to be my defensive end there. Team is looking a lot better, especially on the specialist side, especially on the specialist. That's a weird way to phrase it. 87 overall team without the boost. I mean, some of us have boost like CJ Stroud, but that's fine with me. Team looks great. And apart from that, guys, Season 3 may be a little bit hopeful here. I'm sure our playbooks will screw us over because EA never wants you to win whenever you use a specific team. But let's move in at the midseason mark. Here we are, top of the division, 4-3 above the Jaguars. We can lose that at any point. Our offensive points per game is 22nd and our rushing game blows, but we're in a passing offense, so that's fine. Passing game is 8th. Defense should be a lot higher ranked than just 17th. That's really stupid. Breakout wide receiver. I'm disappointed, coach. What is happening? How are you disappointed? The challenge hasn't even started yet. T. Higgins is not getting 4 touchdowns and 200 yards. Who are we even facing? The Ravens? Yeah, he's not getting that at all. But let's see what we got here for the scouting national focus. What do I want? I think I'll scout linebacker. We still need an outside linebacker, and Jerome Baker is already 28 years old. He's about to be 29 for us. So having good depth there would definitely be key. Players ready to negotiate. We're going to have Dameon Pierce, who I want back. I don't care if he doesn't want to be here. He wants a mentor at his position, so I could have paid him. So I don't know. I could have just waited on that. But Jalen Petrie, I'll do a 5-year contract. We're running out of money really quickly. Kenyon Green, I kind of want to give a contract. I cannot afford Jonathan Grenard anymore. But Kenyon Green I want back just because he's young and has star dev. In real life, he sucks. Don't really need John Mechie either. Can't really afford anyone else. I'm going to have to accept these 5th-year options for Will Anderson and CJ Stroud. I probably won't play a 5th year, so it won't even matter. But anyways, let's see if, why not? Let's see if T. Higgins gets X Factor against the 6-1 Ravens. I kind of want to see if we can beat the 6-1 Ravens. We do. No, do we? Yeah, we're 5-3. I wish I could see the previous week. Why did it just show me the draft all the time? Well, it ain't the game I was hoping for. Okay, that's fine. Doesn't matter. We're 5-3. Here to face the Jaguars, who are 3-4. But let's move into the playoffs. Okay, we are in the playoffs, 13-4, top of the division, here to face the 13-4 Bengals, aka T. Higgins' former team. We're 13-4 and a 3 seed? How cracked out are the Ravens and the Chiefs? The Bengals are a 6 seed and they're 13-4. God, the AFC is cracked. Joe Burrow, 39 touchdowns to 7 interceptions and 4,600 yards. God, and we might just lose in the wildcard game to the 13-4 Bengals. CJ Stroud, way better year. Still pass rating is a struggle. 16th best offense, 10th best defense. Almost 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns. Interceptions are still a problem, but almost 100 passer rating. So it's improving again, but still has a long way to go. Dameon Pierce, 14 touchdowns, 4.6 per carry, 1,200 yards. T. Higgins, 1,200 yards, 5 touchdowns. Tank Dell, 6 touchdowns, 937 yards. Matthias is doing all right, I guess, with the new workload coming around. But defensively, Jerome Baker, 116 tackles, tackles for a loss, 19 for Aaron Donald, sacks, 18.5 for Aaron Donald, 12.5 for Will Anderson, as he also has 18 tackles for a loss. Interceptions is 3 for Jerome Baker. Top 10 defense, more like, it should be honestly top 5, but I guess our linebackers are kind of weak. Please beat the Bengals. T. Higgins' former team were 4 overalls higher than the Bengals, matter of fact. Please, we do beat them. I wish I could see the score. Here to face the 87-8-9 Dolphins. Please. We're 1 overall higher, but they're 8-9, dude. Come on. Please. God, I hate Madden. It's so gay, bro. It's so stupid. You try so hard to win on a team just for them to choke and just play terrible. It's so annoying. Let's move into the off season for the 4th and final year. And the Carolina Panthers beat the Dolphins in the Super Bowl. It should have been us. Nick Chubb on the Panthers wins the Super Bowl MVP. It looks like the Panthers just go through a rotation of elite running backs. Patrick Mahomes wins the league MVP. There are no awards here for the Houston Texans, which sucks. But we're going on to the 4th year. We have a great team. It's just whether or not the AI will let me win. It's like, oh, you're using a team? No, we win. It's like, I understand I'm not supposed to win all the time, but I had the better team than the Dolphins. I was 13-4 and overall higher. I don't care. 90 overall, CJ Stroud. No upgrades offensively. Our center only has star dev, but that's fine. Man, really no upgrades at all offensively. Defensively, Rush has superstar dev, which is sick. I'm glad that he's already up to that potential. And anything else here? Really? Just Rush having superstar dev is about it. Still a good season, I guess. But anyways, let's move into the re-signings. For the re-signings, Will Anderson Jr. I'm going into the 4th and final season, so I'm not even going to accept these options. Since I have a little bit of money, I'll just keep Jonathan Grenard as a rotational player since he actually wants to be here. Don't need John Mechie. 4th-string wide receivers do nothing. And apart from that, 17 million. I'll take a peek in free agency to see if I want anything, but if not, I'll just skip to the draft. After free agency, I ended up getting Trent Brown as our right tackle. He was listed as a left tackle, but I moved him to right just to slightly improve our offensive line. But let's move into the draft. In the first round, I pick number 11. I'm picking up middle linebacker Jamie Covington out of Oregon State. 6'2", 241, hidden dev, 91 speed is amazing. B block shedding, B man coverage, B injury, B tackle. He's going to play with our linebacking core, of course, in rotation with Jerome Baker. In the second round, I'm picking up defensive tackle Martin Fute out of LSU. 6'4", 400 pounds. Damn, you fat, bro. My 400-pound life in the NFL, dude, they're going to tax him for being fat. Oh my God, 97 strength though. I guess mass moves mass. Hidden dev, A tackle. You better bring a dude to the ground. You're going to crush him to the Earth's core at being 400 pounds. Shit, I didn't even realize that. I'm sorry for roasting you, but damn. Now this is the team going into the 4th and final year, 88 overall team. I think I built a really, really good team, honestly, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Covington's a 74. I picked up Weaver in the second round. He looked very athletic, just didn't have a dev, which is fine. Fute, the 400-pound dude, is going to be playing right next to Aaron Donald. Stacked out defensive line. Very good team. I honestly feel really confident about this team. It's just whether or not the AI will let me win. So anyways, let's move in to the playoffs of the 4th and final year. And once again, we're 13-4, top of the division, here to face the Bengals again. Last time we were an 88 overall and they were an 84. This time we're a 91 overall team, which is stacked. But this time the Bengals are 11-6 as well. But stats and awards, CJ Stroud finally having an amazing year. Please. MVP. Dak Prescott. Yeah, sure, bud. Sure. And he's 8th for MVP. I guess he threw a lot of interceptions. 8th in offensive yards in the NFL. Defensively, we were 4th. Nice. Yeah, 14 interceptions is still unacceptable. But 4,200 yards, 40 touchdowns, 110 pass rating. Huge improvement. Dameon Pierce, 7 touchdowns, 4.3 per carry, 1,100 yards. T. Higgins, 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns. Matthias with 12 touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards. And Dalton Schultz with 11 touchdowns. Looking at it defensively, Jerome Baker, 102 tackles. Tackles for a loss, 15 for Maurice Rush, the most on the team, which is great. Sacks, 13 for Will Anderson, 11 for Aaron Donald. Rush with only 3. But he's a run stopper, apparently. Interceptions, 5 for Greg Newsome, 3 for Chardavius Ward. Please, I'm not going to lose with a 91 overall team. If I lose to the Bengals, dude, I'm 7 overalls higher. I should smack the living crap out of the Bengals here. This might be where it ends. God, dude, the Chiefs, out of all teams that I had to play. I'm going to hop into this one. We haven't even won a divisional round yet, so let's move into it. Here we are against the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to start out with a touchdown, and so are we. 7-7 game to start out off the rip. We take the lead, 13-7. I guess we didn't get the extra point. 20-7 here. I swear, if that extra point screws us in the long run, I'm going to be pissed. But it looks like it's not going to. We actually get a 2-point off it. Wow, the defense holds so well. Offense was going off. They kind of came back, but not really. 20-38 as the Houston Texans are moving on to the conference championship. And here we are to face the 14-3 Buffalo Bills. We're still 5 overalls higher. We're still a significantly better team than the Bills. We just beat the 89 overall Chiefs. Let's go to the Super Bowl. Here we are against the Buffalo Bills. 0-0 start, 7-0 start. We strike first. Good defense right here. Of course, as I say that, they score 7-3. Come on, hold them before half. How do we not get a field goal there right before half? 14-3 against the Bills, 17-3 against the Bills. Fourth quarter, 20-3 against the Bills. Defense, way to not even allow a touchdown. 20-3 as we're moving on to the Super Bowl. Here we are in the Super Bowl, here to face the 85 overall, 10-7 Detroit Lions. Again, we're 6 overalls higher. This should be a complete blowout, but let's see the upgrade players here. I want to make sure everyone's at their top game. Gabe Weaver, sure, I guess it doesn't really matter going up 1 overall. I thought the QB would get some stats for having that good of a season. Hopefully CJ Stroud has Superstar Dev now. He had a good season, but still 14 receptions is a lot. He does get Superstar Dev, which is awesome to see. The only upgrade, I was hoping T. Higgins got X Factor, but Fute has Superstar Dev, Chardavius Ward gets Superstar Dev, and Greg Newsome gets Superstar Dev. Crazy good team that I built now that I think about it. 91 overall team, which is amazing to see. Here to face the 10-7 Detroit Lions in the Super Bowl. Both of us are competing for our first ever Super Bowl win. Let's go get it. here we are against the Detroit Lions in the Super Bowl. They're going to start out 3-0. Our offense is going to score 7 on the next drive. We punt it again, and we're going to score 14 on a huge pass, 21-3. It's the defense that's really the MVP here. 21-6, shutting them out for touchdowns in the first half. That was weirdly worded, but we're finally going to score again in the fourth quarter, and they're not going to score. 28-13, as we're going to beat the Detroit Lions, and your Houston Texans have won their first ever Super Bowl with CJ Stroud, their first ever Super Bowl, period, but with a 91 overall team, probably one of the best teams, highest overall teams I built in Madden in quite a while, and this time we do actually deserve this win in the Super Bowl. But if you guys did go and enjoy this video, make sure you like and or subscribe. We're not quite done with the video yet because I want to see who your Super Bowl MVP is before we wrap things up. But a 91 overall team is really nuts, so I really hope you guys did enjoy this rebuild, especially if you're a Texans fan. CJ Stroud finally played out in Madden simulation. In real life, he's been balling, but for the first couple of years there, Madden did not like CJ Stroud. He was doing pretty bad. He still threw a lot of interceptions throughout the rebuild, but hey, he came out on top, got the Super Bowl win. That's what matters, and he's going to win the Super Bowl MVP. Dak Prescott wins the league MVP. Yeah, sure, bud. But anyways, guys, apart from that, once again, I thank you guys all for watching. Let me know which team you want me to rebuild down below, and I will definitely, not definitely, but most likely I'll feature your comment in a video because I don't really have that many comments in my videos. Looks like Trent Brown retired. And apart from that, guys, thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.